So what is immunity? What is our immunity? Our immunity is a line of defense which helps us to fight against all the kind of viruses, bacteria, and pathogens and microorganisms which are living around you, that is in your air, food and water. So it is very, very important to have a particular kind of defense system. You must have been seeing there are many people who fall ill repeatedly, not in the current scenario, but they keep falling ill, like they have cold cough repeatedly, or they keep having upset stomach, or they keep having loose motions kind of scenario. What is this? The reason is, this is the very first reason is poor immune system. This very immune system has a very big role in today's scenario where we all are, fighting against a very big virus. Okay, so immune system is required as a prior condition to keep any infection at bay. Not only this COVID-19, but all the possible kind of infections which we are facing, like say E. coli bacteria infection, or you have Pseudomonas infection. There are so many kind of infection that is roaming around us. So all those pathogens and infections are kept at the bay if your immunity is very good. It requires your consistent efforts and healthy eating to improve your immunity. It's not like that the overnight, today I'll just start having tablets, or today I'll start having particular kind of food and it's going to improve overnight. No, it requires a hell lot of an efforts to put in that will help you improve on your immunity. So there are a lot of foods which are readily available in your kitchen today also that is going to help you your immunity. So we'll talk about some of the very important nutrients which are known as immunobooster nutrients. The very first and the very common you must be hearing everywhere is your proteins. So what are these proteins? These proteins are of two types. They are of complete proteins and incomplete proteins. So you must be seeing that these proteins are very, very commonly used. So many of us go to the gyms, many of us hit the floors, many of us, are having just proteins because we want to have them in our diet. Okay, so what are these proteins? There are two types, as I mentioned previously. It is complete protein and incomplete proteins. So what are these complete protein? Complete proteins is that these complete proteins are those which we get all the essential amino acids via one common source. So what are these complete proteins? That we get all essential amino acids. We have approximately 9 essential amino acids and we get them totally from our diet, and it is present in only one common food. And when you say incomplete protein, these incomplete proteins are proteins which are not complete by themselves, but when they are combined with something, they turn out to be a complete source. So what are these complete protein sources? The complete protein sources are all your non-vegetarian sources, especially like your chicken, liver, egg, fish, mutton, okay, and some of their vegetarian sources, which are complete, which is your complete protein sources is your milk. Your milk is a complete protein source, okay. Along with it is your milk products. So all your milk and milk products are your complete protein source for vegetarians. And for non-vegetarians, what are your complete protein sources? Are your chicken, egg, fish, mutton, all of those are your complete protein sources. So these are the protein sources which you have them daily. But when you have it in the form of tea, coffee, the kind and the quality of protein or the quality of nutrients that you get from this milk gets hampered. So have milk on its own, not in the form of a tea, coffee, or added to something else, okay? So have your milk as it is, the way it is highly nutritious. You can add a protein powder to it if you want to, or else by itself, milk is a complete whole protein source, okay? Moving further, what are the incomplete sources? So incomplete proteins are those which do not have all the essential amino acids present. They are completed, or they become complete when they're combined with some other sources. Okay, so like for example, when you see complete protein sources like chicken, egg, fish, all of them you can have it on their own. But when you see your incomplete protein sources, you have to combine. The very good common example is that your proteins have some essential amino acids. Sorry, your pulses, they have some essential amino acids, and your cereals, they have another few essential amino acids. Like say for example, cereal have A category of amino acids and pulses have B category of amino acids. But A plus B combined together make it a complete protein sources. So what it is important is to always combine your cereals and pulses. So what are your cereal pulses? Example, the very common is your dal rice. What we generally have it in our daily routine is our dal rice. Second, very, very common is your khichdi. I am sure all around the country, in India especially, we make khichdi in varieties of forms. The Maharashtrians make it their own way, the Gujaratis make their own way, the South Indians make it their own way, and they are named differently. So what it is important is to combine these cereals and pulses. So when you combine these cereal pulses, is which is called as a complete protein. A very good example of another complete protein is your puran poli, the Maharashtrian dish. Why? Because the inside batter is of dal and the outer coating, which is of wheat, is cereal. So cereal pulse, but the crunch there or the a kind of a restriction with puran poli is why? Because it is either made up of sugar or excess of jaggery. So you need to control on those. But when you see dal rice or when you see khichdi or when you see a cereal pulse combination is your idli dosa. Okay, a very, very good source of proteins are your idli, your dosas, your uttapams, your appams, where your cereals and pulses are combined in a better way that they help you give you a complete protein. So all the vegetarians, do not worry that how am I going to get this complete protein, but this complete protein is highly biologically available, which means that when it is absorbed in your body, 90 to 95% of that protein gets absorbed. Whereas when you have an incomplete protein source, not all of it gets absorbed and all of it is available for you. So have complete protein source. Try and combine your cereal pulse to make it a complete source. So that will help you improve on your protein intake, the quality of protein that you're having. Okay. So, and other examples of incomplete protein source are your nuts and oilseeds. So not all nuts are fattening. There are a lot of nuts and oilseeds which are very, very important for us to consume. So right from almonds, your walnuts, to your cashew nuts, to your pista, to your raisins, all of them are very, very important if they are consumed in a right proportion, in right quantity and at a very, very right time. Why? Because when, say for example, you have added all your nuts to a bowl of sugar dense custard or say a bowl of sugar dense ice cream, that nuts and sugars are not going to be that much useful because you don't really know the quality of nuts that have added to that real ice cream that you've bought it from out. But yes, when you have those handful fist of nuts as a snacker in between, say you had your morning breakfast and till your lunchtime you have a break where you are really wanting to munch on something, or say in the later half of the day, post your lunch till the dinner, that's the maximum munching time where all of us are munching. So at that time, have a fistful of nuts. These are very, very good source of nutrients and they are very, very good source of lots and lots of vitamins and minerals. And trust me, friends, and it is very important not only for protein, but lot of micronutrients. Trust me when I say micronutrients is when they are required for our body in a very, very smallest amount, but we are not taking it because of our our choices, what we do, that we choose a lot of other foods over the very healthy foods that make them not essential, and that's why we need to take it in our body. So what are the functions of these proteins? Everybody's talking about proteins. I am talking about protein, that take a good protein source, take a good protein source. But what they do is they act as antibodies. What are these antibodies? They act as like your defense system to fight the infection. So when there's a kind of a virus or a pathogen that enters in your body has to make some antibodies. So for example, say there is a war and a scenario. So the opposite party's military and your party military, your military has to be strong. So this military is your antibodies. So the body produces antibodies, that is antibodies towards the infection, whatever is present. And we all know that antidotes are made. There are so many antidotes to many, many viruses and pathogens which are present currently. But to new infections like COVID-19, we all need to build that antidote in our body. which is made by immune system, and for that you require protein. Why? Because all of your antibodies have a base of proteins in them. So if your protein intake is very poor, you are going to have a poor immune system. Not only you, the kids in your home, the grandparents in your home, the parents of yours need to have a very, very good protein intake in your diet, because the elders who are having an additional comorbidity scenario, where they're already having a diabetes or a blood pressure, or they're having a heart issue, or there is a simple problem like arthritis. Okay, everything has already hampered their immune system. So we need to support them. So whatever is there is in the body for its basic function. To make it more better, you need to keep supplementing with these kind of protein sources. And coming to the scenario about the kids or the younger crowd in your families, they need better protein source. Why? Because for their growth and immunity. The poor the growth, the poor the protein intake, which means that there is a poor growth and there is poor, a poor adult. It's a cycle, understand? It's a very, very vicious cycle. You have a very poor protein intake, which means you have a poor immunity, which means you have a poor body. Your body is not able to adapt to every kind of pathogens which comes around you. That means you will grow up as an adult who will have a very poor immune system, and you will be able to get all kind of infection which is revolving around you, which is not really what we want. Okay, so it's very, very important to have good source of protein. And yes, the very most important role of protein is your building muscles. So what is this building muscles doing? That is helping you to not have good amount of fat depositions and have good quality muscles in you, which is going to help you. Okay, so what are some of my friends are asking me what are the good protein sources. So I'll repeat again. You have complete protein sources, which are known as egg, chicken, fish, liver, especially the livers of the animals. And for the vegetarians, it is milk and milk products, your nuts and oil seeds, and also cereal pulse combination. So when you combine cereal pulse in any way you like, say for idli dosas or say khichdis or say dal rice, they're all good source of protein. Okay, so moving forward, what are again, yes, protein is very, very important for many essential molecules in your body. The very most essential is your hemoglobin. So your hemoglobin is made up of protein. So a lot of females, a lot of your female clients, or a lot of your female partners are having a problem with the hemoglobin. Not only iron is an issue, maybe majority of us have a protein deficit diet, which is causing you to have a poor hemoglobin status in your body. Okay, so a lot of essential hormones, essential molecules, they all contain protein in their diet. That's why it is very, very important that you include proteins in your diet. Okay, and yes, so the very first question will be, how am I supposed to understand what is my protein requirement? A very good question to address too. So what is my protein required? So my protein or your protein requirement is dependent upon our weight. So whatever is our weight, accordingly is my weight of protein. So say for example, anybody who weighs between say 50 to 55, so assume 55 kilos. So 55 grams of protein is his or her requirement. And especially those who are doing a lot of weight training, or those who are doing excessive trainings, they need a protein intake. That means their intake can even go to 60 to 62 grams. Or those who are not, 1 gram per kg body weight is a basic requirement of protein. You can go for 0.8 grams per kg body weight, but I suggest as 1 gram per kg body weight is very, very important to have in our daily diet. Okay, so we will move forward. We will talk about vitamin C and vitamin D in a while. Okay, for now we will continue with protein. So what are the foods that I can include in my diet with related to proteins? So as I mentioned, dal, rice, khichdi. A very good example of protein is your hummus and pita bread. That's a very good source of protein because it's a cereal pulse combination. Again, brown rice and beans. Okay, I recommend those who are non-vegetarians, and if it is possible, and trust me, it's not very, very clear the source of non-veg coming to you, how clean or how pure or how hygiene it is. But if you trust the vendor, trust me, you can have 2 eggs a day. A daily 2 eggs can be consumed to have a better protein source, and also in the scenario where currently we all are having these kind of a problem. Okay, so have 2 eggs daily. And if anybody gets access to having non-veg, okay, what you can do is you can store the liver. You can store the liver. Please make sure you are cleaning is very, very important. If you clean your vegetables, fruits, and non-veg very well, you will not have any kind of problems. Also in future, not also in the current scenario. Okay, so all of this is very, very important. So there is a question for what is the requirement, per day requirement. As I mentioned, it is 1 gram per kg body weight is your requirement. And for kids, yes, somebody mentioned to me that children you can give them all kinds of pulses and dals. Okay, so all kinds of pulses and dals can be given to them as the source of proteins. Okay, you can give them sprouted and fermented and all. Okay, and we will have a round of questions also towards the end. I'll move forward and we will go about with doing vitamin C. What is this vitamin C? So what is vitamin C? Vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid, and this vitamin C is very, very important. Why? Because it helps in growth and repair of tissues and muscles. So whatever the wear and tear that is constantly happening in your body requires vitamin C along with proteins in your body. Okay, it is very, very important for wound healing and form scar tissue. So whatever wounds that you're having on your body, which is visible to you and obviously which is happening inside you, requires vitamin C for its repair and care. Okay, and also it helps in absorption of iron. So friends, when you have iron deficiency, you require vitamin C as its best friend, because they go both hand in hand. When you have good amount of iron in your body, you need to supplement with good amount of vitamin C for its maximum absorption, because the absorption is better only when you combine it with vitamin C. That's the role of vitamin C. Vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. So the amount that you take daily, it's not going to anywhere go overboard, or you're not going to ever feel toxic until and unless you're having lot of capsules of vitamin C in your diet, or you're having a lot of tablets of it, which is going to make you have a toxicity. Okay, what is your vitamin C in a day? So for men and women, it is approximately 40 milligrams per day is the requirement. And for children, it is 40 milligrams again. But for pregnant women, it is approximately 60 milligrams per day. Moving further, what are the sources? The very most important source of vitamin C is your amla, or called as gooseberries in English. Okay, what are these amlas? Are the highest source of vitamin C. You can chew them, you can powder the amla, or you can, have the way you want, make an amla juice and drink it down. So early morning, if you have a shot of amla juice early in the morning, it becomes a kickstart for the day with a rich source of amla and rich source of vitamin C. Then is your oranges or your orange juice. We prefer orange juice over orange, but caution that you do not strain it. Okay, so orange juice can be given, but if you are diabetic or anything, I would suggest prefer oranges, because generally orange juice is a denser form of vitamin C, because you have almost juiced altogether 3 to 4 oranges, and that's what you have gulped down. Okay, moving further, other sources are your lemons. Okay, your lemon is a very, very good source of vitamin C. Also, drumstick leaves are known as moringa powder. Moringa powder is also currently in a very big demand in the market. Okay, then is your capsicums, your cabbage, your green chilies, your coriander leaves. So what are your sources of amla? Your sources of vitamin C is your amla, your oranges, your melons, your capsicum, your green chilies, your cabbages, your coriander leaves, and also drumstick leaves. Majority of us throw away the curry leaf out of our plate. Why? Because we do not really like it. We do not really like to chew that curry leaf. Not everybody, but majority of us do that. I would suggest, do a very good thing is that these curry leaf powder are known as a superfood in our medical, or you say in our nutrition language, they're known as superfoods. So what you can do is dry the curry leaf powder, wash them properly, dry these curry leaf, and allow it to dry in your natural light, not under the direct sunlight where they are, totally losing all the nutrients of it. dry them properly, and make sure you crush them well, either with your hands or you can powder them. Then add it to your dals, your soups, your salads, your vegetables, add it to your parathas, your theplas, anything that you like, and have the maximum intake of curry leaf, because curry leaf is not only rich in vitamin C, it is rich in a hell lot of nutrients and minerals, which is very, very important for us. So rather, which is easily available. You don't even have to pay for buying a curry leaf. Majority of us say, bhaiya, masala de do, and the curry leaf comes along with it free of cost. Or many of the time, the masala wala bhaiya just gives you, bhaiya leke jao. Take the curry leaf, and what we do about that curry leaf? Nothing. We just throw it out of the plate. So this is the form where you can include curry leaf in your diet, and in a very, very better way. Okay, so that's how you can include it in your diet. And the second very thing that goes out of your plate is your green chilies. Majority of us do not give green chilies to our elders or not to our kids. Until and unless if they do not have an acidity issue, I would suggest chop the green chilies, not the very spiciest variety, but the little less spicy variety, and you can give it to them to be included in their diet. Say, for example, you had a green chili to your poha, or say to your upma, or you have added to your dal. All the spiciness is already got mixed with the other ingredients, so let them chew on that green chili. It is very, very rich source of vitamin C. Okay, so include it in your diet, do not throw it away. Okay, moving further, you can add a dash of lemon. So fresh cut lemon can be added to your early morning warm water. Where your warm water is, you can add a dash of fresh squeezed lemon. You can add it to your dals, you can add it to your vegetables, wherever you like. Okay, chew on your green chilies as I mentioned to you before. Okay, so any doubts till now? There any doubts? I'll move forward, and we will do the third very most important nutrient, that is vitamin A. So what is this vitamin A? The vitamin A, we know very commonly, is good for eyes. That's what we teach our kids, that vitamin A is a very, very important source for your eyes. Why? Because they help you in your vision. Not on the daylight, but the very most important is they help you see better in the night when all the lights are off, the visibility. So that's why we say when you have vitamin A deficiency, you have night blindness as a problem. So again, with vitamin A, you have two forms of vitamin A sources available. The first is retinol and second is beta carotene. So retinol is the readily available source. That means your body absorbs directly, and beta carotene is the precursor, which means it's a previous step which gets converted to retinol and then gets absorbed into your body. So you have many, many sources of beta carotene available for you. Important thing to note here is vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin. So if you have excess of vitamin A, there's going to be a scenario of toxicity. So do not go overboard with it. Okay. So what are the functions of your vitamin A? As I mentioned, they're very, very good for your eyes. They're very, very good for your immune system. What they do is they produce a mucus. This mucus is present in your eyelids, like your watery part. It is present in your lungs, which is making it stay, bloated and properly filled and all. It's produced in your gut, which is helping you have good microbes in your body. Okay, what are these good microbes? We'll talk about it a little further. Okay, and what they do is they trap all these bad infection or infectious agents or bacteria and help them through out of your body. So that's the function of vitamin A, and it also helps in production of WBC. What are these WBCs? These are white blood cells, and these white blood cells protect the body against both infectious agent and foreign pathogens. So vitamin A is very, very essential for our body. Okay, so what is my requirement? How much vitamin A do I require daily? So for men and women, we require approximately 4,800 milligram per day, and require approximately 3,200 milligrams per day. Okay, so what are the foods rich in it? As I mentioned, there are two forms of vitamin A. Remember, it's beta carotene and retinols. Retinols, which are easily absorbed by your body directly, and beta carotene is a precursor, which gets converted to vitamin A, and then it is absorbed by you. So what are the beta carotene rich sources? All your yellow, orange, red fruits and vegetables. So all these colorful things that you get in the market is a very, very rich source of beta carotene. of retinols are your egg, chicken, your fish, and milk. So all your non-vegetarian sources and along with milk, it's a good source of retinol, and all your fruits and vegetables, yellow, orange, all of those are very rich source of beta carotene. Okay, so include it in your diet. All your red, yellow, green is a very, very good source of your vitamin A. Coming back to a very, very important source of vitamin A is your drumstick leaves. Many of us have heard about your moringa leaf powder. It's a highest source of beta carotene. So what is this beta carotene going to do? Gets converted into retinol and get absorbed in your body. So how do I include this moringa powder in my diet? You get them available in the market. Okay, so how do I, what are the ready-made forms which you get in the market? There are a lot of brands available. You can Google it and see. They are very readily available on Amazon and many other websites. So some of the ready available sources are Kapina Ayurveda, Organic Moringa, or Turmeric Moringa. These are the readily available sources. I have to make it at home. So you get very easily drumstick leaves available in the market, the way you get palak, meat, all of those. All you need to do is make sure you wash your vegetable very, very well. You wash all the leaves very, very well. Allow it to dry on a nice fresh cloth. Allow it to dry it in the natural sunlight for approximately 2 to 3 days. Make sure that the leaves are dried well, not in the direct sunlight, but the natural light. And after that dried leaves, you will see all the moisture has just got evaporated out of it. And then what you do is either crush it in your mixer grinder or you just crumble it with your hands. And now this is your moringa powder, which you have made it in your own home setting. Yes, you will have a shelf life of it. If you have not dried them properly, they will end up, getting a fungus on them, or they'll start spreading. So make sure you dry them very, very well, and then you store it properly. Okay. Apart from that, these moringa powders, you can add it to all your dals, like your curry powder. You can add it to your dals, your sambars, your vegetable, your thepla, your parathas, your soup, and include it in your diet. Or if you do not this scenario, so having a glass of lukewarm water in the morning, you can add a teaspoon of moringa powder and have it along with it. So it becomes a very, very good source of vitamin A, vitamin C, many nutrients. So moringa powder is very, very crucial and important. I told you how you can make it at your home. I also suggested you the ready-made sources also, but I would suggest more make it in your home settings. Currently, there's a time you have readily available time which you can use apart from your office work. Yes, which is very, very important. Early morning times where you are done with the breakfast and all, and you're before about to start, maybe what you can do is you've bought all your vegetables and wash them properly, in a good lukewarm water. You wash them properly, add a little bit of salt to it, not your green leaf vegetables, but not all green leaf vegetables, to be very true, but all your vegetables and fruits, you can soak it in lukewarm water with added of salt, and then you can allow it to rest for 5 to 10 minutes and then dry them and then refrigerate them. That is a very, very good way of refrigerating your fruits and vegetables. But if you want to dry these leaves, wash them and then do it. If you do not want to dry your leaves, then don't wash your green leaf vegetables. They'll get spoiled very easily and very, very fast. Okay, so what is moving further is that we will do is a very important another nutrient that is called as selenium and zinc. So I'll move first to selenium. Selenium is very, very important. Why? Because it helps in boosting your immunity. So if you have good immunity, but you have poor immunity, if you have poor selenium, what it does is it in incompensate your immune system, and you become very, very susceptible to all the kinds of infection, and it also reduces your inflammation. So trust me, selenium turns out to be a very, very good immune booster. What is my requirement? I require only 400 micromilligrams. Okay, you require only 400 micromilligrams in the day. What are my sources of selenium? The selenium sources are all your seeds, your nuts and oil seeds, especially your seeds, your nicus seeds, your chia seeds, your mustard seeds, which is very available in your kitchen. It's a very good source of selenium. Your garden cress seeds, they are a very, very good source of selenium, which you can include it in your diet. Okay, so moving forward, we will do some about zinc. So what is zinc? Zinc is very important for your immune system. Why? Because it helps in cell growth, cell division, wound healing, and breaking of carbohydrates. So for example, there's a one antidote made. You need to divide it, multiply it, and send it across all the body parts so that it is very readily available to your body. So that's the very, very most important role of zinc in your body, especially for your immunity. And for the breakup of carbohydrate, which means is that when you have a protein, that protein needs to get converted to glucose. That is the form which the body accepts it. Then you require zinc as a catalyzing agent, or you say as a medium to break that carbohydrate into sugar. So that becomes a very, very important source is your zinc in your diet. Okay, so any questions till now? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Any questions coming up till now? Okay, we will move further. Is your zinc acts as a first line in your defense system, which is that is the formation of mucus. So the mucus in your nose, the mucus in your lungs, to your skin, the sebaceous glands secrete some amount of good immunoboosters, that is which is this is present under your skin. So zinc forms as the main element of these all the immunoboosters, which helps you protect. So it protects your respiratory system. COVID-19 affects your respiratory system. So yes, the zinc including in your diet becomes very, very important for everyone. Okay, what is my RDS? What is my requirement? So my daily requirement is for men and women approximately 12 to 10 milligrams per day. Okay, and what are my sources? So my sources are sesame seeds, or commonly known as till seeds. That is your black and white till seeds, is your sunflower seeds, all your dry fruits, your flax seeds, your chia seeds, your garden cress seeds. They are all very, very high source of zinc. So friends, what do you understand from this is, if you have good amount of nuts and oil seeds in your diet, they become lots and lots of nutrients. Okay, so what we did is till now is your vitamin C, we talk about vitamin A, we talk about proteins, zinc and selenium. Moving further, we will talk about probiotics. Everybody is hearing about probiotics. You have lots of sources of probiotics readily available in the market. For example, see Yakult. Drink that bottle of Yakult. I guess Shilpa Shetty does the ad of it where she's, promoting the gut health. I am not blaming Shilpa Shetty or the Yakult, but I'm just saying that is the very, very readily available source of probiotics in the market. But what are these probiotics? What do they do? Is what they improve your gut health. Remember, your gut health is very, very important. You're having lots and lots of nutrients in the capsule form, in a powder form, or a hell lot of any form you have it. But if your gut health is poor, you will not be able to absorb better. So your gut health turns out to be very, very important. Second thing, when you have a good gut health, that means you have good microbes in your body. What it does, it helps you fight a lot of infection there and then. So all it doesn't need to go to your blood, and then the blood is fighting against it. The first line of defense, that is via the nose or via the stomach infection. The body is fighting all of these infection there and then itself. Okay, so your gut health becomes very, very important. So what are these probiotic sources? Some of you can tell me what are these probiotic sources. Very important. Curd. So have curd, have buttermilk. They are very, very good sources of probiotics. Okay, or you can also have something like Yakult. That's again a very, very good source of probiotics. Your fermented, sprouted foods. They are very good sources of probiotics. So you say your fermented, sprouted foods or germinated foods, they're all good sources of your probiotics. Include it in your diet. What is my recommendation? It depends upon my gut health. It depends upon my gut immunity. So if you are someone who have an issue of indigestion, or you're having an upset stomach currently, because see, all of us who have been working, day in and day out, making sure we are traveling 2 hours in a day, back and forth. We are, climbing our stairs, or we're climbing up the, your buildings and everywhere, to altogether a sedentary lifestyle where you're just getting up in the morning from your bed, having your breakfast, making sure you do your whole household courses, and then you sit up with your laptop and go online. You're not even walking a one step outside your home. That makes you a little gaseous, a little flatulence kind of body, and also has a lot of indigestion problem where you don't feel like, oh, my lunch is still in my stomach, I haven't been able to digest it well. Have good probiotics in your diet. Try and include. Being a summer scenario, have a glass of buttermilk post your lunch. That will help you also curb your dehydration level. It will also make you good as a well hydrated person, and also it will be very, very good for your gut. So have a glass of buttermilk or have a bowl of curd in your diet. That will help you improve on your gut health, which is very important in kind of scenario. You have a lot of adults in your home, that and grandparents, who must be even going out for a walk in a general scenario where currently they have been home ridden or say bedridden currently. In this scenario, give them a bowl of curd, a fresh made curd, give them. That will help them, keep every kind of problem like gas and everything at bay. That will reduce a lot of pains and aches in the body, because gas is something which is revolving in your body. You will have a pain somewhere in the front, sometimes in the back, sometimes in your legs. This is all gas going to give you a problem. So make sure you have good amount of curd to your kids also and to your adults also. Okay, that is going to help you boost their own immunity. How about fiber? Fiber is a very, very important source. Again, very, very important for your gut health. What are the fiber is doing? This fiber is doing is, it is helping you absorb nutrients very, very well and throw out toxins out of your body very well. So like there are a lot of toxins which are developed in our body. So that is thrown out of your body. And thirdly, very most important thing is maintain your gut health. So have good amount of fiber. We are a very poor fiber intake Indians. So what we do is we have everything. Okay, we will have watermelon, but in a juice form. We will have oranges, but in a juice form. Or we will have it in the form of an ice cream or a custard or something like that. Don't do that. Have good amount of fruits and vegetables in your diet. What is my requirement for fiber? Maybe I'll be meeting every day. This might be a question everybody is having, but no. What is a requirement is approximately 35 to 40 grams per day. And trust me, when you have one apple, what you get is approximately 4 to 5 grams of fiber. So how many apples in a day? Just calculate. So remember to have a bowl of salads. Remember to have fruits in your diet rather than munching something else. Currently my Facebook and Instagram, which was full of, I'm getting married, I'm getting engaged, to currently everybody is busy making cakes, chocolates, pastries, ice creams for their husbands, for the families. Don't do that. This is not what is more healthier for you. Rather, what is healthier is to have bowl of fruits, have bowl of salads, include it in that form. Have a natural form of ice cream. Make a steam of that natural fruit rather than, adding that dense lot of sugars in your ice creams, your chocolates, or your cakes or pastries that you make. Okay, moving further, there are a lot of antivirals which are readily available in your kitchen. So moving to that point, is anybody having any doubts till now? I have few questions about keto diet and all, which I will address towards the end of the session. Anybody has any other questions? Please message me. Somebody has mentioned to me that they suggest doing yoga daily to boost their immunity. Yes. Why? Because this is going to help you exercise. So when you exercise or when you do pranayama or any this kind of exercise, your body is, your lungs are able to breathe better. You breathe in better and you breathe out better. That is helping you definitely have lot of benefits. Okay. So, moving further, I will go to antivirals of my kitchen. So what are the very, very good sources of antivirals in my kitchen? The very first is my ginger. Okay, so what is my ginger doing? So currently we all have gingers available. Generally what we make is, चलो आज अदरक वाली चाय बनाई जाए. ठीक है? Generally what we do is have अदरक वाली चाय rather than having it only अदरक वाली चाय. crush your ginger well, add it to your dals, add it to your vegetables, add it to, sauteing while your soups. Then also you can do is you can add it to your early morning warm water that you added. Add a dash of ginger to it. It is a very, very good antiviral for everybody. Okay, so have your ginger in your diet. You can add it to your salads. You can also add ginger to your milk. You get ginger powder, that is called a soont in a layman's language. So add a small pinch of ginger powder in your diet, and that is going to be a very, very good source. So generally a lot of people make also small balls out of this ginger and jaggery mix. So you can also have that ginger jaggery mix powder and in a form of laddus and all. That is also going to keep all those kind of infections, especially your cold cough, especially sore throat. This will all be at a bay when you have ginger. You can add it to your early morning tea, you can add it to your herbal tea, you can add it to your green tea, you can add it to your lukewarm early morning water. That is going to help you. And all your dals, vegetable soups, as I mentioned, have good amount of ginger. That is going to be a very, very good source. And it's also a very good source of beta carotene and vitamin A. Okay, so it is going to help you fight a lot of infections. Second is your garlic. So garlic has a very good nutrient in it, or you say a compound in it, that is called as allicin. And this allicin is that pungent smell in your that you get. Majority of us don't like garlic. I especially don't like garlic, if you give me. So what I do is you chop garlic fine, soak it in water, and when you soak it in water, what you do is then add it to your water and then drink it if you want to have a garlic concoction kind of a thing. Or you can crush that garlic and add it to your soups, dals, and everything that you have it to be added, and then you can consume it in your diet. Garlic turns out to be very, very good. It is a very good source for a lot of diabetes patients. So if there are anybody in your house, or you yourself have a high blood sugar level, trust me, having a borderline blood sugar level is not something which is very good. You need to have a controlled blood sugar. Anybody who is also not touched a diabetic status but having a high blood sugar is soon going to be diabetic, and no scenario to diabetics. So remember, sugar controlling turns out to be very, very important. So have garlic. 2 to 3 cloves a day of garlic help you control on your sugar. They help you in weight loss. They also help you have good sleep. Okay, that also help you to boost your immunity and reduce the scenario of cold and flu. That is, it protects your upper respiratory system. In the COVID situation currently, your upper respiratory system is very, very affected easily. What is the first thing that you say? If you see the symptom, they say you have sore throat, you have cold, cough, and fever. These are your signs where you can say, okay, you can be COVID-19 positive. So garlic helps you protect your upper respiratory system. That means it protects your throat, it protects you from having cold, cough. So have good amount of garlic in your body. That is going to be very, very important for you. Okay, and it also helps you in better cognition and better digestion. So having a garlic is very, very important for you. Moving further, somebody has also asked me about turmeric, and I'm further talking about turmeric as well. Okay, so what is this turmeric? Turmeric is also known as curcumin. The compound is known as curcumin, which is giving its yellow color, the fresh yellow color. So make sure your dals and vegetables have nice yellow color. So add good amount of turmeric to your vegetables, to your dals, to your soup. And if not add anything, add good amount of turmeric to your milk. Okay, give your kids, give your adults, give your parents and grandparents a good amount of healthy milk early in the morning and also in the bedtime. Both the time it is safe and sound to have lukewarm or say hot, whoever prefers the way it is, good turmeric warm water. So what you can do is, allow it to cook nicely, your turmeric milk, not boil it, but a little lukewarm. That is going to help it digest better and also not get cold, because I do not want you to currently have any cold foods where you will feel, oh, can I have a cold tomorrow? So do not have anything cold, but just include turmeric in your diet. Your turmeric is a very, very good antiseptic. This we all know, because if we have a cut, and what our ladies in our home or your mothers must have done is, she must have immediately ran to the kitchen. She must have got a turmeric and has placed it on the wound and made sure that the blood stops. So what it does is a very, very good or you say a very, very good wound healer. It's an antiseptic on its own. It's an antiviral, antioxidant, a very good anti-inflammatory, antibacterial agent. I would say the superhero is your turmeric. The kitchen's superhero is your turmeric. So have turmeric the way you want it, add it to your diet the way you like it, but have turmeric. Okay, so even if you say थोड़ा सा turmeric तो सब्जियों में जाता ही है, but why not? You can include it even more. Okay, by adding it to your milk and water, as I mentioned. Moving further is your basil leaf, or known as tulsi. If you are very, very lucky that you have a tulsi plant in your own house, you can pluck on the fresh tulsi leaf and have it as your mouth freshener. You can add it to your milk, you can add it to your lukewarm water and have it in your diet. Tulsi becomes a very, very good, it helps you fight against sore throat, cold, cough, and all those inflammation. It helps you reduce your inflammation in your body. Okay, so you can have a tulsi kadha, you can have a tulsi juice, however you like it. So add tulsi in your diet the way you like. Okay, moving further is your garam masala. Strange, right? How garam masala turned out to be a very, very important source. But the garam masala, the ingredients that your garam masala has, that is your bay leaf, your clove, your pepper, your cinnamon stick, they all are very, very good source of all antibacterial, antifungal, and your very good source of immunobooster nutrients. So having a pinch of garam masala into your vegetables, if not anything, what you can do is crush all of these freshly, boil it in your water, and you can have that lukewarm water also. That if you take it, consume it in your diet, is also a very, very good source. If not, you can have a pinch of garam masala to your dals, vegetables, or to your theplas and have it. That is also very good antiviral from your kitchen. Okay, so till now we spoke about turmeric, we spoke about garlic, we spoke about ginger, we spoke about tulsi and garam masala. Okay, moving further is your fenugreek, methi. Methi seeds. Not everybody likes methi. I personally don't like it. But when you soak your methi seeds overnight and then you chew it properly, it's a very, very good source of fiber. It's a good source of nutrient. It's a very good source of antifungal, antibacterial. It's a very good source of many, many nutrients. So have soaked, methi seeds, soak them at the night and have it next day in the morning, chew them. If you're the one who cannot chew them, a lot of people add methi seeds to their curries. They add it to their, a lot of Sindhi curries, Gujarati curries have methi seeds added to them. If not, you do not like it that way, what you can do is also just have it, have a gulp of it and just drink a good amount of water, so you will not feel you have had methi seeds. Remember, methi seeds help you control your sugar. In a current pandemic situation where everybody is binging and munching, I don't really know that, but yes, I'm watching a TV, I need popcorns, I need chips, I don't know what to say. You have kids at home. When they're watching TV, they want to eat something. So they are under a constant sugar spike. So when they are under a constant sugar spike, there is a chance that that is going to affect their body. So when you have given them turmeric in any form that you like, okay, that is going to help you, your parents, and your kids in your home. So maybe you can powder that and add it to your dals and curries, or also you can add it the way I mentioned, that you soak it overnight and then have it next day morning. Okay, so that's how you can add all of these antivirals from your kitchen in your diet. They are very, very important. Okay, all of us are currently eating according to our mood. What are we doing? We are eating according to our mood. And what is this mood doing to us? This mood is playing with us. Oh, I am feeling bored. I'm feeling tired. I want to have something. So what do you eat? Is there any chips in the house? Are there any chocolates available? Or are there any biscuits available? What we are doing is eating all sugary, fattening, junk foods. Or what you do is make ready-made snacks available, like your khakras, sorry, not khakras, but your save, your gujiyas, and your kurkures, and all of these, you have it in your snack time. But do not do that. Why? Because when you are in a mood to eat something, that is also affecting your body. Do not eat as per your mood. If you feel like eating anything as per your mood, have dark chocolate. Every chocolate is not dark, and not all chocolates are dark. I'll repeat again and again. And not all dark chocolates are chocolates. So have a good amount of dark chocolate. If you want a small cube, a very, very small cube, 1 cube of it is very, very good to go for. Have dark chocolate rather than your regular Dairy Milk or any brand. I'll not blame the brands, but any brand you can have, but have dark chocolates. Second thing is have fermented foods. Fermented foods help you boost on your mood. They help you, give you a better mood. So you can have idlis, you can have doklas, you can have, I don't know what not of fermented foods, but include, you can have sprouts, the very good fermented source. You cannot, don't want to make anything, soak your pulses overnight, sprout them, and you can make a nice meal out of it. Add your oil, vegetables, add a dash of lemon, so that will help you improve on your vitamin C status. Add your chopped yellow green capsicums and your tomatoes, whatever vegetables are available with you, add them and eat it. That turns out to be a very, very good mood enhancers for you. Okay, coming to your mental health status. Your mental health status is the most important. Why? Because if you're mentally happy, you're physically happy as well. If you're mentally really disturbed because of certain scenarios, that is going to affect your whole body, that is going to affect you. So remember, mental health is the very most important for you. Stress, moving forward, if you're highly stressed, remember your digestion is the very first thing that gets affected. So if your digestion gets affected, which means you have indigestibility, or if you have a lot of other problems, which means your immunity is affected. So keep stress at bay. If you are a person who gets very easily stressed because of many scenarios, what you can do is do a lot of breathing exercise, do a lot of exercise, which is going to help you improve to manage stress. Okay, a lot of people do binge eating when they are stressed. They'll keep on eating, or not eat it. There are two peoples like this when they're highly stressed. They do these kind of scenarios. I would suggest, if you're stressed, think about it. Do pick up a hobby that you like and manage your stress. Take it in the right direction. Use that energy in the right direction. That is going to help you in a very better way. Okay, a lot of people are having a lot of junk foods currently. There is somebody who has mentioned to me that this is the, so yes, there is somebody who has mentioned to me that that person is not having junk food at all because of that particular reason. She's feeling very relaxed, he or she's feeling very relaxed, and this during weight loss I want maintain this type. So I regularly take fruits for breakfast, in the breakfast. So yes, if you're having fruits along with the meal, I would suggest don't go for it. Do not have fruits along with your meal. Why? Because they give you a very good sugar spike. I would suggest have your fruits alone, have them on their own. Say for example, you are having a cup of tea or a coffee in your breakfast along with fruit. What it does is the fruit nutrients are getting blocked by your tea, coffee, tannins and caffeine. So all those good vitamins and minerals which are present. Say for example, orange. You had a cup of tea and an orange. So what is this doing is that the vitamins in the orange are getting taken away by the tannins of your tea and thrown out of your body. So the absorption rate turns out to be poor. So I would suggest do not combine with any of your meal, not even lunch and dinner. Have them on their own. If you have had a tea or a coffee, I would suggest if you're having tea, say tea or a coffee in the morning with your breakfast, within 1 hour or so, within 1.5 to 2 hours, you can have a fruit. Do it that way. Keep them always as your mid-morning snackers, not in your main meals. I would suggest to have you in a that way. I would also suggest you to have good amount of seeds, nuts and oil seeds in your diet, because your 7 seeds, that is your hemp seeds, flax seeds, your sesame seeds, your pumpkin, melon, watermelon seeds, they all are very good source of proteins, magnesium, zinc, selenium, vitamin A, B, everything. So having 2 teaspoons of all of these seeds daily is going to be very nutritionally dense thing. Okay, you get them readily available in the market, all of these seeds currently. So you can have it at the end of the day. You can have them as a mouth freshener in your diet. They turn out to be very important for you. Okay, so very important is if you are a one staying alone, or if you are the one who are having 2 to 3 members in your family, I would suggest don't cook in bulk, because stale food is not really good for your immunity. It is not really good for your gut. So make how much ever you can eat. Yes, I can understand not everybody are a good chef or a good cook, but you will learn over a period of time. Currently, you have a good amount of time to stay in your kitchen. Make sure you cook the amount that you need to eat. Do not refrigerate it and say, okay, I'll have it daily. Morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times. Don't do that. Cook whatever is available, freshly cooked, okay, and have it in your diet. If you have lots of vegetables available with you, you really don't know what to do with them, make pickles, make fresh pickles out of it and include it in your diet, because all vegetables can be made in a pickle form. Second, green leafy vegetables. If you don't know what to do with the lots and lots of green leafy vegetables, dry them. The dry form, which has less of moisture, can be included to anything that you like. You can also add it to your theplas and all of those, or your parathas, or your curries. A lot of curries have a lot of dried vegetable, green leaf vegetable, that is kasuri methi. What is this kasuri methi? It's a dried form of methi leaves, which you get it in the market. So what you can do is, currently being having so much of a heat, so much of sunlight available to you, dry all your vegetables and make it available for you and eat it in your diet. Okay, do not ignore your green leaf vegetables, even if you have excess of it. Stay well hydrated. Even if you are in a home setting, majority of us sit in afternoon time, or say in an evening time, in an AC atmosphere. Or what we do is, we have a full fan scenario where we are not getting up also to even drink water. Remember, hydration status is very, very important, because if you're well hydrated, which means your kidneys are functioning well, which means the toxic levels from your body are thrown out in a better way. So have good hydration status. Milk, fluids, dals, all of this are helping you stay very, very well hydrated. But water in itself, if you have approximately 3.5 to 4 liters, okay, that is very important to consume. Okay, have it the way you like it, in a chash form, in a buttermilk, in a lemon juice form, in any form that you like. Okay, coming to lemon juice, when I mentioned about lemon juice, when you're having lemon juice, do not add too much of sugar. Okay, rather add jaggery. Rather than just adding salt, add pink salt to it. Okay, rather than just adding nothing to it, add freshly, roasted cumin seeds, a dash of lemon, a dash of, a pepper powder. You can also add crushed moringa powder. You can also add crushed curry leaf powder. Yeah, you can add flax seeds to it. You can also spice it up. You get that tadka chash also. You get it in the market. So when you give tadka, do not give it with too much of oil or ghee, but just for, a spice. Add mustard seed. So even your simple buttermilk can be made so highly dense on nutrition that it becomes a very, very good part of it. Okay, and even your nimbu pani. So any of it, have it the way you like it. So add it into your diet and make sure that you include good foods in your diet. Moving forward, remember and take care of your fruits and vegetables, because they make you. Your food makes you, it makes your mind, it makes your soul, it makes your body. So when you have washed, so remember to soak your vegetables well, you get from the market, wash them properly, and then refrigerate it. Remember, next most important thing is to keep your kitchen hygiene and sanitized. Why? Because the less microbes you have it in your kitchen, the less microbes will be in your food, less microbes in your body. So remember to keep your kitchen neat and clean, eat healthy, stay healthy, drink healthy, and breathe healthy. Okay, so I would move to ending with this session. If there are any questions, please drop me or you can ask me. So I already so somebody has asked me that okay, so there was 10 for children below 5 years of age in a vegetarian. So I guess I've already answered this question, that for a 5-year-old kid, what are the vegetarian protein sources? Is that what is being asked by, I guess, if I'm not wrong? I'd already mentioned what are the vegetarian protein sources. That are all your dals and pulses, your milk and milk products, your nuts and oil seeds. So you can give it to your kids. So a lot of kids now want to have enchiladas and tacos and whatnot. So what you can do is, you can add pulses to that. If your kids are not the one who will drink a lot of milk, how you can include it in their diet is, by making a thick milkshake kind of a scenario. But remember, add only fruits, no sugars to be added. You have chico milkshake, you have banana milkshake, you have apple milkshake. Make a thick, nice drink out of it and give it to your kids, that it becomes a very, very good sources of protein. Sprout and ferment. If your kids like idli, make a idli. You remember a peckman, you can make like a peckman, kind of cutting in between the idli, and you can make a patty out of these sprouts and put it inside and give a dressing of chutney, and you can give it to your kids. So it's a white idli in between with a patty of nicely sprouts one. So it gives a little colorful to the plate of the kids. Remember, kids love, the more colorful, the more better they love it. That is that. Okay. So I hope I have answered it. Okay, so is there any good time to have orange, or is it to have it in the morning? So I would suggest there's no harm in having orange any time of the day until you are a one who have this kind of a scenario, like get acidity or anything. I would suggest don't go in the evening time, or you can have your oranges any time of the day. There's no problem with oranges. You can have oranges any time of the day. Okay, so natural deworming measure for children due to excess sugar intake, sweets and chocolates. So you get lot of deworming tablets. You get deworming tablets in the market. You can give it to your kids. Make sure your kid is healthier enough. His gut integrity is good, because the next day he's going to have a lot of problem with his bowel. Not every kid, but yes, some kids have problem with your bowel. So you can give one tablet of it, and that tablet works for 6 months. So you should deworm yourself. Not only kids, and even adults. A lot of adults who have good amount of sugar in their diet should have a deworming tablet that is going to help them. Okay, moving further, is whey protein powder good to be taken without workout? Why do you want to take a whey protein powder? To be very true. So what is this whey protein powder? Let us talk about it. So not everybody is a kitchen chef, but yes, the water which is left behind after you make your paneer, you see that yellow color water remaining, that is your whey. So this whey, even if you make paneer in your home, is available for you. So even when you drink your whole milk, is your whey available in it. The whey and caseins are available for you to be included in your body. So I would suggest, if you are not the one who is currently doing workout, do not take whey protein powder. Have good amount of milk and milk products in your diet. That's going to help you. You are the one having good amount of paneer in your diet. The leftover water, do not discard it. Maybe you can add a dash of pink salt and lemon to it and drink it down, or you can add it to the water of your dal. You can add it to the curries of your vegetables. You can add it to the soups and salads out of it. So, and also make it nicely and have it in your diet. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, so please suggest for gray hair and hair fall. So a lot of people have hair fall. Why? Because of a poor zinc in their diet, or poor. Because see, remember, your hair is majorly made up of proteins. Okay, so your hair is made up of proteins. If your protein, your zinc, selenium intake is poor, you will have hair fall. So what you do is start having good amount of nuts and seeds in your diet, and also good sources of protein in your diet. That is definitely going to help you not have lot of hair fall. Second most important thing is, if you wash your hair, you will have a hair fall. Why? Because your scalp opens up natural pores for the growth of new hair. This is what I've understood from an expert, that there is natural hair fall, but if there are a lot of hair falls, even when you touch your hair, that's exactly called as hair fall. And for graying of hair, many times it is hereditary. Second, it is stress. So have less stress, do good amount of meditation, do good amount of relaxation therapies for yourself. That is going to be very, very helpful. Somebody mentioned at the very beginning, do yoga. Yoga is very important. We did not speak much about exercise, but exercise plays a very, very important role. Do some basic exercise in your home setups. That is going to be very, very helpful. Even yoga is a very helpful thing. Okay. Moving forward, please suggest preferred foods for diabetic, rice or wheat. Okay. Both are cereals. Both are having starch, but the starch content is higher in your rice, not in your wheat. When you tell me to compare both, I would say wheat. Why? Because your wheat has some amount of fiber in it that is making it have less sugar spike. So any diabetics who wants to have rice, who love rice, do not say no, but you can have it in the first half of the day, but not together. So what I suggest is have dal, rice and vegetable, and dinners can be roti sabzi. So you can break it that way. And if they are the one whom you can play with, you can substitute the rice with brown rice, or you can substitute it with dalia, or known as fada in a common language, or it is also known as broken wheat in English terms. You can substitute it with that. So you can make khichdi out of it. You can, so you have khichdi made up of dal rice. You can make it with this wheat, broken wheat, and along with that you can also make it with dal added to it. So that's how you can, you know, manage, because a lot of people don't enter the kitchen, especially the men's that don't like to get into the kitchen and cook for themselves. So you can play with their minds. That's how you can manage the diabetic status. Okay, are there any more questions for me? Please don't have excess sugar. Towards the end, I would just want to say excess sugar will give you good mood, but it will not give you good results. It is always going to give you a lot of fat in your body. Okay, so somebody had mentioned to me that leave my details with the HR team. So yes, so my Connect and Heal team will do that. So thank you everybody. This is Ashwini once again, seeing off. I hope you all stay safe and sound and have a good day. Okay, thank you so much and stay safe.